Thank you.
Is there a possibility that no one will join?
Sawadee Kap, good afternoon, SBS community. I hope you're all very well on this fine Friday afternoon. My name is Mr. Mark, the headmaster here at SBS, and I'm delighted to rejoin you for our secondary webinar series for this academic year. For those of you that are new to our school, even new to the webinar series, last year we introduced a series of webinars specifically designed to educate our community and to provide insight into our secondary program here at SBS. And we're going to continue on after all the positive feedback we received last year based off all of the topics covered. At some point, we'll be able to share you a schedule so you'll know exactly what's coming up, so that it's time relevant to anything that's happening within the Cambridge exams, within preparation for exams, or making selections for university places. The first topic today, or this year, is going to be something that's quite important to us because we are launching this year ourselves as the Duke of Edinburgh Award Centre for academic year 2023-24. It's something we are immensely proud of, and we've been working through the holidays and even last term to make sure that we were ready to begin this year with launching of the award itself. Today I'll be joined by Miss Hannah. Miss Hannah was the one who was leading this from the very beginning. It's a project very close to our heart, and so later on we'll get input from her about how the award will run, what will it look like, and what does it mean for you if you want to enroll and get involved in the program. But before we get to that, we have a little video from Mr. James, who is the representative of Thailand for the Duke of Edinburgh organisation, and he has a little welcome to all of us at SBS, the newest award centre for this academic year. So it's something that we're very proud of. So let's go and hear what Mr. James has to say before we go any further.
Good afternoon. My name is James Etheridge. I am the Operations Manager for the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award in Thailand. I am the representative for your school with the award, and I'd love to take this opportunity to welcome Static Bilingual School to the Award Foundation as our newest award centre. I'm sorry I can't be with you today. We are with the rest of our staff in our staff conference, which is the first time we've done it for more than 10 years. So very exciting, but unfortunately it means that I can't attend your webinar today. So I just wanted to send this message to welcome you on board. I very much look forward to working with you all and to give you a bit of information about how the award works. So we were set up in the UK by His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh in 1956, and since then we have expanded to more than 130 countries and territories around the world, with more than 1 million young people all over the world working towards their Duke of Edinburgh's International Award, which is an unbelievable achievement. There are 4 parts of the award. There is the physical recreation section, where you have to do a sport or an activity. There is the skills section, where you have to learn some sort of skill. It could be something like knitting, it could be something like learning a language or learning a musical instrument, or even something very unique to whatever you want to do. The third section is the volunteering section, where you have to provide a service or improve the life of somebody else or your community. So something which you're benefiting somebody else through your work. And then the final section is the adventurous journey. And this is sometimes known as the expedition. It's where you go out for 2 or 3 days and nights and you try to get from A to B using whatever form of transport that you want that's non-motorised. It could be hiking, you could be on horseback, you could even be flying. It's entirely up to you. But it's all about going out with a small group of people who are all trying to achieve something and basically trying to get to the end and having a fantastic time along the way. What we believe is that the International Award is as important to young people as doing your exams. So you may achieve all of the grades you want to in your exams, but the bit that sets you apart from all of those other people that have got the same grades as you is that you've also learnt these incredible skills outside of the classroom. And that's what the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award brings. It's all about setting goals, being committed to achieving something over a long period of time. And that's what sets you apart from other people, and those are the skills that you're going to gain while on this journey with us. So I'm very excited to welcome you on board. I would be happy to answer any questions that people have, so please feel free to forward them through to me. And I'm looking forward to developing the award within SBS and seeing how amazing achievements we can get together. So I hope that your webinar goes well, and I look forward to working with you in the future. Thanks very much. Good afternoon. My name is James Etheridge. I am the operations manager.
Stop you there,
for the
James, for a
Edinburgh's
second.
International Award.
Thank you very much for all of that. Appreciate it. So, yeah, that's a little introduction from Mr. James. So we're going to elaborate on what he just said in his video today, myself and Miss Hannah. As always, we love your feedback. We love your questions. So in the chat box in the YouTube chat, feel free to add any questions that you want at any point. We will get to it as we go along. We'll certainly have Q&A review at the end anyway. So interactive as much as possible. Hannah, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you for joining me on this great webinar. I'm very excited about this program, and I think this would be a great addition to SBS and for the students.
Absolutely. Where is it that you first came across the Duke of Edinburgh Award? Yeah, because I know, let's say, from my own experience, growing up in Ireland, you know, I didn't certainly have access to it in my school. I would have heard about it, being so close to in proximity to the United Kingdom. So I did know of the award, but not really know anything about it. How did you first come across it?
Well, same as you, Mark. I've never heard about this award growing up. Unfortunately. So one of the senior management team members came across the award, perhaps communicating with another person from an international school, and they asked me to look into it. And once I've looked into it, I realized that, wow, why haven't we done this earlier? So I could connect it with James, and me and you started together working out what does this mean for the school? Is it beneficial? And I also spoke to other international schools within Thailand to find out a little bit more about this award. And then we basically decided, yes, we need to do this for our students.
That's it. And I mean, you just touched on something there, because something that I didn't realize, let's say, at the time before we started this journey is how global this program is. And even within Thailand, there is a large community of schools that are running it or wanting to become Duke of Edinburgh Award centres. So it really is something, a real community, sense of community.
Oh, definitely. I think, and like James mentioned, the community is growing within Thailand, and it's not, although it's separate for each school, it's a thing that they can do together as well and grow as an international minded community.
Well, let's get stuck into it then. Let's teach everybody at home, or let's educate everyone at home, give them an insight to what the award looks like. Probably many people listening today have no idea about what it is. We did discuss it with some parents and students last year, just to get a feel for how it might be received within the community. And I know that there was quite a bit of interest, particularly in students at the time. So hopefully that kind of energy and that want to know more still exists, and today's webinar will help answer a lot of those questions for those people. I'm going to share my screen because we do have a short little presentation to help go along with what we're going to talk about today. So just bear with me there. And I need to do this. Can you see the screen there now, the Duke of Edinburgh Award slides? Excellent. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get stuck into the Duke of Edinburgh's Award and why we believe at SBS it is a very important project for students to get involved in. Mr. James touched a little bit about the origin of the award, and I'd like to maybe elaborate a little more on where it does come from. Yeah. Now, it was first muted in 1954 by His Royal Highness, the late, I must add, Prince Philip, who was also known as the Duke of Edinburgh. And at that time in England or in Britain, there used to be a gap between finishing school at 15, let's say formal education at 15, and then moving onwards into kind of national service at 18. So he looked at that kind of gap, and he wanted, at the time, to be honest, the men, the youth, the male youth of that time, to be involved in something meaningful, not to be sitting around for 2 years doing nothing, but to be involved in something meaningful that would help them develop a range of skills that would be useful in their future lives. And that's where the idea came from. As Mr. James says, it wasn't really until 1956 that it really exploded as a award that we have come to see it as today. At that point, more international countries were getting involved, and of course, it was then being opened that women and girls could also start to participate. So that's a little bit about the history and where it comes from. But like everything, it starts somewhere and it evolves over time. So what do we have now as the award of 2023, and what will that mean for students who want to get involved in it? Hannah, would you like to talk a little bit about what you have found out in your research about the award?
Yes, Mark. Like you said, this award started many years ago, and it started as a very small award, meaning there wasn't many options that the students could choose to build their program. But where we are today, the program has built so immensely that, any student from any walk of life would be able to find one activity that they feel where they want to grow. So the program has grown a lot, reached many countries, and it gives the independent centers like us opportunity to really sit and see how we can provide a variation of activities for the students. So in terms of the program, it's really grown and different opportunities came up. So yeah, that's what I have found.
And also I think, there's this need for something that goes beyond the curriculum, that goes beyond academics. Like, modern education now, of course, is very much aware of the need to build transferable skills that are going to be the foundation for success in a future world that we kind of know very little about now. What knowledge is important now might not be relevant by the time our students get to the workforce. So, if you think about the time difference, this skill development is something that was muted back in the 1950s through the Duke of Edinburgh Award, but actually has now become part of more formal education now in a modern international program like we have at SBS. Yes. But, that desire to develop skills that go beyond the classroom, that go beyond the academic learning, that kind of is at the core of the Duke of Edinburgh Award. Don't you think?
Yes, I agree with you. Like I said previously, if I had this opportunity in school, I would definitely enroll myself, or perhaps my parents would at that time. But like you're mentioning, it goes beyond the classroom, and it's such a great opportunity to take those skills and use it in the classroom. Maybe you might be unaware that this program will help build your independence while you're doing it, and you're going to grow while you're doing the program, and that will directly affect how you interact with people, how you play a part in the community, and as well, because you have a different perspective on things.
And all very valuable traits for the youth of today's youth to develop, if they're going to be successful in their future lives. So, in a sense, the people that it applies to, what sort of age category are you talking about? Can any children do this? Can any child say, I want to do the award?
Unfortunately, age-wise, not. It starts from 14 years and it goes up until 24 years. Of course, we don't have students that's 24 years old, but because we're an independent center, the age category would be a bit less. So that's why we are approaching the secondary students. So anywhere from 14 years and up. Once they turn 14, they're nationality or cultural wise, anyone can join.
It's kind of like borderless, really. That's the kind of way I would describe it, yeah. And it doesn't really matter
Yes,
about,
definitely.
let's say, physical performance. Maybe people think that it's all about physical performance and you have to be a very abled athlete and all that. But actually, the reality is very, very different, right? It's
No,
an
no.
inclusive program, and it can involve anyone really within the age requirement.
Yes, I agree with you, Mark. It's a well-rounded program. Of course, most of the students have some area that they feel like that's their strength. In school, sport was mine. But like this program is built so that you can become a well-rounded person. It's not just about sport, like you're saying. There's skill, you know, find
Okay, we seem to be missing Hannah a little bit there, the last part of what you said, but that's all right. I think we have the crux of what we're trying to put across to the parents and the students here is about the well-rounded approach to developing a range of different skills that will really benefit students. And as it says there, it's supporting university applications because Mr. James in his video, one of the takeaways that I got from what he said is that, we already mentioned it goes beyond academics, but he even went a little bit further in saying that, everybody can take tests, everybody can pass tests, everybody can get good grades, everybody can achieve, but at the end of the day, what you have is what makes you stand out, different from the crowd. And doing something like the Duke of Edinburgh Award, with all that it entails, really does help you to stand out from the crowd, stand out from the pack, and make sure that people see the individual qualities that you have. So we're going to continue on to the next slide here. Thanks, Hannah. I think I was just telling that we may have a few difficulties there, so it's good to see you back. So we're just moving on to the next slide where we have a little video that kind of encompasses what the award might look like. And I think that will be very useful for people to view and to get a bit more context to what we're actually trying to say. So let's take a look at that. Try something a little different and see if I can get the video to play. Okay, it doesn't seem to be working for me. Hold on a second if I get my IT guys to have a little look at this. Tech is not my forte, but my able-bodied guys here beside me are much better at that than me. So just hang on a second and we'll see if we can get this one to play for us. There we go. Perfect. All right.
The Duke of Edinburgh's International Award is the world's leading youth achievement award and has transformed the lives of millions of young people over the past 60 years. In today's uncertain world, young people face more challenges than ever, from struggling education systems to increasing inequality and greater The Duke of Edinburgh's International Award is the world's leading youth achievement award and has transformed the lives of millions of young people over the past 60 years. In today's uncertain world, young people face more challenges than ever, from struggling education systems to increasing inequality and greater...
Okay, all right. Okay, Gremlins in the system. It doesn't seem to be happening for us at the moment, so I think we're gonna we'll knock that one on the head. But what we will do is we will make the slides available to anybody afterwards, and so you just gotta let us know. We'll share the slides. It will have all the information in there, including the links to this video. But why don't we get back onto the actual presentation itself and continue then our discussion into the details of the Duke of Edinburgh Award. Okay. All right. So, next. So how does the award work? Hannah, would you be able to explain us a little bit about the details of that?
Yes, of course. Okay. So the award is not a team effort, although there might include some team activities. The award is an individual program. And the great thing about this program is that the student, once they enroll into the award, they get to build and choose their activities. So they get to build their own program with some guidance perhaps, but they get to decide which activities they want to do within their program. The award comprises of 4 to 5 sections, dependent on the age level and dependent on the award that you choose. Mark, if you can go to the next slide, I believe there's a good outline. There we go. Okay. As like any sport or any competition, you get bronze, silver, and gold. So when a student decides to join this award, they will start with the bronze award. So they will receive a bronze certificate at the end of their program. For the bronze certificate, you have to choose an activity from the voluntary service, physical recreation, and then skills. And then, of course, after that, there will be an adventurous journey or excursion, expedition, depending on what you want to call it. For each award, so basically, all of our students will be first-timers, so everyone will join the bronze certificate once they turn 14, or maybe you're 15 or 16 years old already, that doesn't matter, as long as you are 14 or older. You will join the bronze certificate, and then your journey will start. All in all, every section, you have to complete 3 months of each section. It works out around an hour per week for every section. Okay. But of course, things happen. You might get sick. So what's going to happen if you don't complete that 1 hour per week? You might take a little bit longer to complete your certificate. So once you've completed all of the 3 sections, you've done the expedition, which is 2 days. Is it 2 days? Yeah, 2 days, 1 night. Then you will receive your award, your certificate, your bronze certificate. And then if you decide, okay, I want to continue, I want to reach gold. After bronze, you can then enter into the silver certificate. Then, of course, it'll take a bit longer to do the activities. It is advisable to choose new activities for each section. When you're done with silver, you want to do gold, then you can do gold. Or if you feel like, no, I think I've done enough, or perhaps you're leaving school, then you can stop from bronze or silver. It depends on you.
So something you mentioned there, the fact that they're called gold, silver, and bronze, people will be familiar with that as kind of like the first, second, and third prize in a race or
Yeah.
a sporting event or something. So, is this a competition?
No, not at all. I would say it's a competition with yourself because obviously you want to get yourself to reach better goals. You want to complete the award. So that's how you're going to grow independence and, take more responsibility for your own growth. So this is not a competition. Of course, maybe two friends are joining the award together. They might motivate each other and say, hey, come on, let's continue. Let's get that 1 hour done. We need to achieve this for ourselves. So it's not a competition.
And let's say, for example, I want to do more than 1 hour per week. Let's say I have a recreational activity that I really love, I really enjoy, and I just happen to do it more than 1 hour per week. Does that mean I can finish the award earlier? And then maybe like go from bronze straight into silver and then, finish early there and then go straight into gold. And maybe I could finish in maybe, a year or two instead of like maybe, 18 months to 3 years, Is that possible?
It is possible in some sense, but they still have a required amount of exact hours. And it doesn't help if you try to rush through things and you're not really putting in the effort. You're just kind of like, want to sign off on it and then get it done. So that's why we have mentors and assessors, and they will check, have you completed this hour? The award leader will also have a comment section for when you complete your certain activities. So if you are someone that just want to rush through it, get it done, get all the awards, the award leader might have seen, okay, you did not take this seriously. You took it as, a race. And that will also influence the fact that you might get your award or not.
And it's about growth as well. Really, it's growth over time, right? So, you can't achieve that growth if you're just rushing through all of the activities that you have set up for yourself. The program, your Duke of Edinburgh Award program. If you're going to rush through it, if you're going to see it as a race and you want to try and get it done as quickly as possible, then realistically, you're actually missing the point of what the Duke of Edinburgh Award is about, right? Because it's about development, it's about growth, it's about progress.
I agree with you, Mark. It's of course you will have a mentor, you will have an assessor, but it'll totally be on you. You need to get yourself to that activity. You need to complete the hour. So it's you're not gonna, if you don't show up, you're not gonna punish someone else. It's gonna come down on you because you will not get that award. You will not reach your the expectations that you put for yourself, and you will not have an influence in the community. And all in all, that's what we want to achieve for our students.
And the fact actually as well that like we can see that the length of time increases from bronze to silver to gold, and so really I'd say one of the things that students are going to need a lot of different skills already, or attitudes or attributes to be able to successfully complete the award. Looking at it, I'd say kind of perseverance and commitment are probably two of the biggest things that students are going to need to have in order to be able to be successful. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with you. Even though it's, like we said, it's a well-rounded program. It's not just about sport. You can take the attributes from sport. If you don't show up and train with your team every week, you're not going to reach those goals. You will not improve. You might not meet your own expectations. So this is the same with the program. Self-management, consistency, and therefore, if you follow all those steps, you will accomplish the award for yourself.
Absolutely. I mean, it just sounds wonderful. Let's go a little bit further, if we can. What about the actual activities themselves that people can do? Yeah, we mentioned the voluntary service. What does that actually entail? What's that going to be about?
So the voluntary service is you as a person giving back to the community. you showing up and helping where you can. At the end, everything comes back to us. You can say karma, basically. If you step up, if you show that you are caring, it'll come back to you, and you'll make a difference in other people's lives. So what does the voluntary section look like? For our school, for our independent center, it might look like something like helping younger children, which might mean you might help in the mornings, help them with pick up and drop off. In effect, it helps the teachers, it helps the parents, but it also helps the student, and they might look up to you like, wow, this kid doesn't even know me, but he's helping me find my classroom or find the ECA that I need to go to. It might also be helping elderly people, which might not be within our school, but that might be something outside of the school that you do on a weekly basis. It might be picking up litter. That's a very basic thing, but are you going to be committed to doing that every week? It'll help yourself because you are helping to have a cleaner environment, but it helps everyone around us. It helps the cleaning ladies, might make their jobs a little bit easier. So you basically give your time for the community to build a better environment for yourself and for others.
It's like a selfless act, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of, between, let's say, the IB learner profiles and the Cambridge attributes, these are the kind of attitudes we're trying to develop in young children, because that's what will make the world a better place than currently what it is now. So that kind of selflessness, that kind of sense of community, of outreach, wanting to help, wanting to improve, it's a really vital component of the well-rounded program that the Duke of Edinburgh is.
Yes, I agree, Mark. And of course, from the Duke of Edinburgh program, there's a whole list of things that the students can do. But as an independent center, we have set up a small program. So the students will be able to choose options from the program that we are offering, and that we know, okay, these things are reachable. And of course, as the years go by, the program will grow.
And then more access to different, more wider range of perhaps activities will be able to be achieved. Interesting. Let's have a little look at what something could look like. Here's maybe an individual program. So we have our voluntary service, we have our physical recreation, have our skills. Talk us through how this might impact, or how this might be utilized by someone who's looking to get involved in the program.
Okay, so this is a very short list of things that students might be interested in doing. So we will present them with a list, like the program that we've set up, and then they will sit with the award leader. The award leader will help them choose their activities. Perhaps they are thinking, okay, helping children sounds like something that I aspire to do, and I think it's reachable for me. I come to school early already. If it's a morning session. So yes, I think I'll be committed to doing that. So they will tick for voluntary service. I will be helping the children. Maybe they'll be on duty at the canteen, for example. Physical recreation. Maybe this student is already doing golf outside. They already have a golf coach. Perhaps they started a few months ago, but now they want to improve their skills. So they want to build on that. They have goals for themselves. Their coach said, you have potential. Let's do this more often. So he might stick with golf. Then obviously it's not directly connected to SPS, but it is an option if it's outsourced. As long as we are in contact with his coach, and his coach are aware, okay, this is one of the activities that this student chose for the award. Let's be in contact. Let's check up, just make sure, okay, is he showing up? Is he, really putting in the effort? So that would be physical recreation for him. Skills, maybe he's never really played an instrument before, but he feels intrigued. He's seen one of his friends play a Thai instrument, perhaps. They might get in contact with Krutong at the music department, set up a 1-hour session every week, and then
obviously it's learning an instrument is quite tricky depending on the instrument. So that would mean he needs to start from step one. And every week he will obviously improve, learn more skills. So the award really gives you the opportunity to choose different activities. If it's something you already are doing, you want to improve, yes, go for it. Maybe something new, out of the box. You think, okay, I'm going to push myself and go into electronics. I know nothing about it. Then you choose that. So you kind of put yourself in a position sometimes, to push yourself, to see what's out there.
Yeah.
So those are just a few examples.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the list that you are working on, and so that list for any student that comes in and says, look, Miss Hannah, I want to do this award, I want to register, we sit down and we plan what your award is going to look like. So they will have like a booklet or a pamphlet of all the different options that are there. And so what you're saying is that the SBS Duke of Edinburgh Award options will be things that we know that we can achieve here with the students. And also, though, they have the opportunity to incorporate some things they may already be doing outside of school time, in golf, in archery, and that can also be incorporated into their program.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Like I mentioned, if it's an activity they're doing outside, of course, it'll be more difficult for the award leader or their mentor to track their progress. But that's why it's very important to get in contact with the person from the outside. If it's a golf coach or perhaps a singing coach, they need to be in contact with the award leader so that we can, guide the student, motivate them. Because they might say, I sign up for singing every week, but they're not going.
Yeah.
But the award leader and the mentor needs to check up, like, are you really doing this? Again, it goes back to, you're not doing this for someone else. You're doing it for yourself.
And that kind of continuous motivation is going to be important. And I guess that's why the SBS team, the Duke of Edinburgh team, are developing their skills, doing the certifications as assessors and that, so that they will be able to provide the right kind of a motivation, the right kind of feedback to ensure that, at the end of the day, we want the students to be successful, right? They do have to do the award themselves. No one's going to do it for them. But for us as mentors, as assessors, as award leaders, our goal is for them to be successful. We want them to achieve what they want to achieve out of it. And all of those things together, when it's combined with the student interest and the support within school, that should make the journey and the success rate better, I would say.
Yes, no, I agree with you more. I think we can go on to the next slide, perhaps.
Okay.
Okay, this is another example, Mark. I just made an example, like the student's name is Ben. Let's use Ben for this example. He's award leader, might be you.
Okay.
So at the beginning, what does that mean for you and the participant? You will sit with him. You will help him to choose activities. It's all on him, but you might guide him. Like I mentioned earlier, if the student knows he might not come to school early in the morning, it's not advisable to sign up for something first thing in the morning. So we might work around his schedule, what is possible for him. Helping children for voluntary service, skill, playing a musical instrument. Oh, this is kind of exactly like the example we just talked about. Golf. If it's a sport within school, it's maybe an ECA, football, a very good example. Then their assessor or their mentor might be Mr. Dino, their football coach.
Yeah. And, that also means then that within, let's say, the extracurricular activities within the school, it's kind of easy to build it into the timetable then for students as well, because they have that after-school club, they have that access to facilities, they have that access to know-how, and so that would help a lot, I guess, in being able to develop the wide range of activities that students may want to do.
Yes, I agree with you.
And so the different people within the role. So you have your award leader's role. So what are they going to do?
So the award leaders do the initial training. They've been in contact with James, the area leader. So the award leader will sit with a couple of students at the beginning of their program. So let's say there's 2 award leaders, 20 students signed up for this award. So it will be 10-10. So they will individually sit with the award leader and then build their program. Once the students have built their program, chosen their activities, then obviously they have to choose an assessor. So what is an assessor? You might first thing you might think is assessment, which is not. So let's call it a mentor. If the student chose musical instrument, then obviously the person who offers that type of activity will be his mentor. For example, if it's in school, the musical instrument activity is after school with Crouton, so then the mentor will be Crouton. So what is the assessor's role, the mentor's role? He also guides the student, he offers that exact activity to the student, and he's in contact with the award leader. So every week when the student completes their 1 hour, he signs off on it. Not old school paper, it might be in some cases, but the student will get an online logbook, which is very efficient to use. So what is a logbook? Every time after the student completed their hour, they will go into their logbook. Okay, I've completed my golf session with my assessor Ben or whatever. And then the award leader can see that. Oh, okay, he's finished his 1 hour this week quite early. Maybe you want to ramp it up and do 2. And then I might get on the phone with the golf coach. Was he really there? Okay, great. Sign off.
Okay.
Sorry, it's a lot of information, but it's very efficient for students to use. And with today's technology, I think the students will be very capable of, keeping track of things.
Okay. We'll summarize that a little bit, because we have a question in from Erin, and it was, she's like, how do I track my progress? So basically what we're saying is that once the award participant is starting their award, they will have their assessor, they'll have their mentor that will be supporting them through the program. Then these will be then working with the award leaders then to track the progress, let's say, make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. But at the same time, the participant has access to the online, let's say, award book. And that's where they're going to document their hours, document their achievements. And then again, that will be observed and assessed by the award leader to ensure they're doing what they're doing.
Yes, definitely. We can kind of compare it to Google Classroom. If you have an assignment, you submit your assignment. So with this award, you log onto your profile on the Duke of Edinburgh Award website. It's very efficient. It's very step by step, and we will guide the students in the beginning as well. Like, this is what we need to do. This is step 1. This is step 2. So once you've uploaded your participation and your mentor has signed off, basically you can see, okay, I've done X amount of hours. I need to do a few more, or I'm almost there. So therefore you can log your progress on the logbook.
Okay, good. Sounds like a fairly easy, well, as you said,
yeah.
Today's modern world of technology, I think our students will be well versed in being able to navigate that and be able to track their progress independently. So that's simple, basically, I would say, for them to be able to show what they're doing and demonstrate their progress. In terms of then, let's say, because we have a couple of questions that probably we should answer before we get further into the actual application process. Yeah. I have a question here from KC Service, interesting name. A few questions actually, but there's one that probably stands out more than the other. What happens if I don't complete the certificate in the designated time?
Mark, there shouldn't be a problem. I mean, life happens. You might have a fun family trip and you can't do the activities for 3 weeks, or you have COVID and you can't do the activities. So obviously you can extend your time with that. Things happen. So you just have to inform your award leader, and we have to go on the logbook and make sure that we follow the rules. So it shouldn't be a problem. Things happen. We go around it. We go over it. Perhaps we cross the obstacles when it gets in our way.
Okay, perfect. Because I think that was probably an important question for people to know. As you said, life does tend to get in the way sometimes, and there are things that unexpected things that pop up. So it's about adapting, really, right? It's about adapting to the situation that's unfolds, and there are ways to be able to adapt to whatever situation pops up at any time. In terms then of, let's say, making an application. So I'm a student now, and I'm really interested to get involved. What should I do next?
Okay, then your next step would be to get in contact with the award leader. We will set up, clear channels for the students to sign up. I will meet with we will meet with the students next week again to go over the details. And tell them, okay, this is what we need to do for your next step. Once they express that they are interested, we will sit with them one by one and get them registered. So the school, as an independent center, is already registered on the Duke of Edinburgh Award website. So we are already up there. We are option. So once the students decide, okay, I want to do this, we will help them to register. So they will register as a participant. Mm-hmm. So all the participants will go under our center. And from there on, we can sit down and decide which program they're going to do.
Okay, very good. I guess then probably leads us into, well, what's the cost of all of this? So, presumably this isn't all for free. So what does it mean for the student then in terms of participation in the award? Is there fees? How does it work?
Yes, Mark, there is a fee. I cannot remember the exact amount, but the fee is that goes directly to the award center. The staff members get training from the center. So that we can offer the award 100%, not 50%. Mm-hmm. So, of course, there would be a participation fee paid directly to the award center, so that we can receive all the materials, all the resources to help and guide the students. And, of course, at the end of this program, the students have to do the expedition, which will be 2 days, 1 night. Sorry, I get confused between the awards. 2 days, 1 night, and this is a very, very interesting and challenging thing that they need to do, kind of like a survival trip. Of course, there will be fees attached to the survival trip, where there will be trained people from the Duke of Edinburgh arranging the whole program and leading the whole program for the students.
Okay, so I think what we have there is, let's say, so to participate in the award, there's a different cost for the levels of bronze, silver, and gold. I think it's £24 for bronze, maybe £31 for gold, I think. But then on top of that, of course, there is that adventure camp. That is something that I guess is difficult to predict because it depends on who's going to provide the camp. It depends on probably how many people are going to be joining the camp. But there is opportunities, I would imagine, hopefully to be able to join with other schools and to be able to keep that cost relatively low for those participants from SBS.
Yes, definitely more. I believe a trip might be to Calais or Kanchanaburi. In Kanchanaburi, there's a couple of companies running these Duke of Edinburgh Bronze Award or Silver Award. So they specialize in offering the award for the centers. So they're very experienced doing these type of things.
Excellent. And again, that can be all discussed with the students when they are getting to that part of registering and then planning their award, and then what sort of time frame we might be looking at when it comes to the adventure camp. And of course, I guess the other fees then are going to be related to the activities themselves, I guess. In a sense, if you are doing something within school, within an ECA, whether it be football or something, maybe it's playing the keyboard, there would be then, I guess, the ECA fee that would be included within that as well. Plus any activity you might be doing outside of school that requires any cost too. So in terms of its fee, it seems very low to me when you consider many of the programs that are out there these days. So the limit, it's quite good value, I would say, to the actual awards center. But at the same time, then, depending then on how you implement your award and what you want to do, will impact then, I guess, over time, how much it may cost you to finish the award.
Definitely. I mean, if all three of your activities, if it's something that you're already doing, you're already spending money on it, you're already investing in your future, but now there's just an award attached to it and a little bit more pressure on you, but all in all, it's the same.
Yeah, I like that. I like the way you described that there. Okay, so for more information, of course, myself and yourself are readily available to talk to any of the students. And you mentioned that you will be meeting them at some point, probably to discuss a little bit more. Is that correct?
Yes, we've already met with the students before we became the award center, but it's been a while, so I think I need to refresh their memory, and obviously, we're ready to start the program now. So we're a few steps closer. So yes, I'll be meeting with them next week. And then, of course, if they want to speak to me in person, I will be available.
That's it. Perfect. And same for me likewise. So that brings us to the end of this presentation. Duke of Edinburgh Award, Unlock Your Full Potential and Be the Best Version of Yourself. So it really is quite exciting, yeah? I'm going to turn to the questions and see if we have any more that are relevant to what we want to talk about. There's another one here. If none of my friends do the award, will it be lonely for me? That's an interesting one there. So, because we did talk that it is, individual. So what's your take on that, Hannah? And maybe, some people might feel a little fearful. Oh, I want to have my friends with me, and maybe I won't do it because they don't want to do it. What would be your advice to that student?
That's a very good question. I think we've all felt like that some point in our life. And it might be difficult to make that decision, but sometimes doing something a little bit different than what your friends are doing actually brings you closer, because now you have other interests and you share that interest when you get together again. And it might motivate your friends to join into this program. And I do believe you'll make other connections. Your friends will always be there. You won't be too far away from them an hour a week. So, perhaps motivate your friends to join you. That might help you a little bit more to get the things done every week. So first of all, try to get your friend to do it. And then if they really don't, send them on another path. And hopefully they will join you later. But I don't think you'll be lonely, as it's very minimal hour per week, unless you really push yourself. But it's an hour a week.
And of course, it provides the opportunity to meet new people, right? To make different friends, different connections, depending, I guess, on some of the individual activities you might pick for yourself. If they're a little bit obscure, perhaps, they provide a certain kind of challenge to motivate you, but maybe at the same time, they might not be the most popular activities that everybody wants to do. But then again, that's where your personal choice comes in, because you are the leader of your own award, You set up your own award program with the support of the award leader, but you make the choices as the individual. So if your motivation is to have the opportunity to make new friends, to do things that will push you and excite you, build teamwork, well, then you pick those things through the award that allow that to happen, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. And like I said, Mark, this is, even though it's a weekly thing, it's a very small amount of your time. I mean, when you're with your friends in the classroom during lunchtime, you spend lots of time with them. So if it happens that they don't join the award, or not doing this exact activity, you're going to be away from them for a little bit, but it might build a stronger connection between you.
All right, so I think we're nearly out of time. We've only got a couple of minutes left. As always, these hours fly by. So let's just finish with something that's, I am a student. I'm thinking, will I, won't I? What is the real benefit for me? Why should I do it?
You should do it because it's an international award. It's very popular at this moment. It will help you grow independence. You will gain more responsibility. Maybe that's not something a student wants to hear, but in the long run, this will be very beneficial for you. And of course, if you complete this award, it's something that can go on your resume, on your CV. If you apply for universities, this is something they will also look at. Like, wow, you've done this challenging award. You've succeeded. You have reached new limits for yourself. You pushed yourself as a student to do these type of things. And obviously they will see, okay, you've got it in you to face other challenges as well. So it is very beneficial for your future, but also for you as, a different growth mindset, growing as a person. And of course, you'll learn new skills if you choose a skill that you haven't learned before.
Yeah, that's also a very valuable opportunity. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You have it all there in a nutshell. The Duke of Edinburgh Award at SBS. We're delighted to bring it to you. We're excited for everyone to get involved in it. And so if you need more information, please contact either myself or Miss Hannah. We'll be delighted to sit down and talk to you about what the program options are. And if you're, as a parent, want to know more, please let us know. We'll be happy to maybe run an on-campus workshop to be able to let you and your child come together and learn more about the award and how it will fit and impact you as a family, as well as the individual children within that. It sets you apart. It's going to give you the edge. Yeah, and it's going to develop the kind of qualities in you that are needed for the modern world. It is something that I feel if I had the opportunity, I would have done it when I was younger too. Because I just think the achievement, the sense of achievement that you must get out of completing these things, challenging yourself, pushing yourself with the support of others, of course, but achieving goals that you set for yourself. It's an empowering thing, really, isn't it, Miss Hannah?
Yes, I would definitely do this award if I was younger. And believe it or not, some of our teachers have done this award. Some of them a little bit long ago, but others quite recently.
That's good.
But some of them have also completed this award within different countries.
That's it. And that's where the wealth of knowledge that we have here at the school will be able to be impactful on our students who are really interested in taking this pathway. Listen, thank you so much, Hannah, for joining us today. Yeah, it's a pleasure. Yeah, insight, fantastic. Learned a lot from just listening to you, and the energy and passion that you brought to the actual project so far, and the implementation at SBS is something I commend a lot. I'm excited for the next steps, and I can't wait. I really can't wait.
Thank you for your support, Mark. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Please don't hesitate to ask any questions.
That's it. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. SBS community. Wonderful to have you. This is the first one of a series. We'll be back later in the year, maybe not too far, maybe next month with another one, but we'll update you with the full schedule for the year so you can keep them in your calendar and be ready for the next one. Have a lovely weekend, a safe weekend. Bye-bye. Take care. Kapum kap. Okay, we're out. All right. Let's get have you got the data on the viewers and all of that? Let's see what we got. Sorry, I couldn't open it. I just didn't realize I was clicking all the time. So what have we got? 27 views.